The dark silence of space was broken by the sudden appearance of thousands of alien warships. They came like a storm, cold and deadly, moving fast towards Earth. The stars twinkled quietly as the giant alien armada spread across the galaxies. Edge, their leader, Commander Zarkin, stood on the bridge of his massive flagship, the Vortex Fury. His sharp eyes scanned the deep black, filled with confidence and a cruel smile. "Earth will fall easily," he said. "These humans are nothing. But weak animals, they cannot fight us." Inside the command room, the alien officers prepared for the battle ahead. Their ships were armed with powerful weapons, advanced shields, and deadly drones. Their technology was centuries ahead of what humans had. They had conquered many planets before, and Earth was just another target on their list. But what the aliens did not know was that Earth was not as weak as they thought. Humans had learned from every war, every challenge. Their fight was not just about weapons, but about heart and spirit. And that spirit was about to surprise the alien fleet far below, on Earth's surface. Humans looked up at the sky. There, defense systems detected the approaching fleet and raised alarms. The world's armies and scientists prepared for the worst. The fear was real, but so was the courage. At the same time in space, a small but powerful human ship called the Sentinel moved quietly. Captain Sarah Blake led the ship and her crew. They were ready for their first fight. Sarah's eyes were calm but sharp, and her voice steady. "Prepare for battle. Let's show them what humans are made of." The alien fleet started their attack. Lasers and missiles flew through space, lighting up the darkness like fireworks. Alien ships opened fire on Earth's orbit defenses. But then, suddenly, a small human ship darted out from behind a space station. The Sentinel fired back with precision. Alien Commander Zarkin was shocked. "What? A single ship dares to fight us?" His voice was cold but filled with disbelief. His officers warned him, "Sir, this is no ordinary ship. It has heavy weapons and strong shields." The battle began in full force. The alien armada moved to crush the human defenses, but the humans fought back with courage and skill. The Sentinel moved fast and smart. It avoided heavy fire and targeted key alien ships. Explosions lit up the dark sky as alien ships fell one by one. On the bridge of the Sentinel, Captain Sarah smiled. "They think we are weak. They don't know what humans can do." Her crew worked quickly, their hands steady on controls. The ship's computer beeped with warnings, but Sarah stayed calm. Back on the alien flagship, Commander Zarkin's face changed. He was no longer sure. He studied the humans closely. "These are not just soldiers. They fight like monsters," he said, almost afraid. Alien scouts sent reports. The humans were different from anything they had seen. They took risks, they used strange tactics, and they fought with wild fury. The aliens had never faced such opponents. On Earth, people watched the news in fear and hope. They saw the small, human ships attacking the huge alien fleet. Children and adults prayed and hoped their warriors would win. The battle in space grew more intense. The aliens tried to surround the Sentinel, but Sarah's crew was too clever. They used small asteroids and debris to hide and confuse the enemy. The ship's lights flickered as missiles hit the shields, but they did not give up. Suddenly, the Sentinel fired a special weapon. A bright beam shot out and hit the alien flagship shield. The shield cracked and flashed red. The alien officers gasped. Commander Zarkin stood frozen. He could not believe what he saw. "Impossible," he whispered. "How can humans have such power?" The humans were not just fighting with machines. They were fighting with their hearts. Their will to survive was stronger than the aliens had guessed. But the aliens were not ready to give up. They sent reinforcements and bigger ships. The sky was filled with explosions and fire. The Sentinel took heavy damage, but Sarah refused to retreat. "Hold the line," she said. "For Earth, for all of us." The alien fleet grew angry and desperate. Commander Zarkin knew this was no simple war. The humans were something else. Something dangerous. The first part of the battle was ending, but the war had just begun. The alien commander looked at his officers and said, "Prepare for the worst. These humans, they are not soldiers. They are monsters." The invasion had begun, but no one knew what would happen next. The humans had shown a spark of hope and strength. The aliens had learned a lesson. Earth would not fall easily. The stars shone cold and distant as the alien fleet regrouped after their first surprise attack from Earth's defenders. Commander Zarkin paced back and forth on the bridge of the Vortex Fury, his face dark with frustration. He could not shake. The image of the small human warship, the Sentinel darting through space and destroying his ships with fierce precision. His officers stood around him, tense and unsure. "We underestimated them," said one officer, his voice low. "Humans are not what we expected. They fight like monsters." Zarkin stopped and looked sharply at the officer. "Monsters?" he repeated, his voice almost a growl. "What do you mean?" "They attack without fear. They do not follow normal tactics. Their ships dive into the thick of battle, risking everything to cause maximum damage," the officer explained. "It is like they are driven by rage and madness." The alien commanders exchanged uneasy looks. The confidence they once had was fading. The humans were unpredictable, and that made them dangerous. Far away, on the bridge of the Sentinel, Captain Sarah Blake studied the enemy fleet carefully. Her ship was damaged but still fighting strong. The crew worked quickly to repair systems and reload weapons. "We have to keep the pressure on," Sarah said calmly. "They expect us to be weak. Let's show them how wrong they are." The crew nodded. They had trained for moments like this. For years, humanity had prepared for a fight that no one thought would come. But now the fight was here. The Sentinel and a few other human ships formed a tight group. They moved with speed and cleverness. They used every advantage, the shadows of asteroids, the debris from destroyed ships, and even the blind spots in the alien fleet sensors. The humans were hunters, striking hard and fast, then disappearing before the aliens could respond. Their tactics were wild but effective. They attacked alien supply ships, cutting off reinforcements. They jammed enemy communications, causing confusion. The alien fleet tried to adapt. They sent faster ships to chase the humans, but the humans always seemed one step ahead. On the Vortex Fury, Commander Zarkin watched in growing fear. His fleet was bleeding ships, and the humans did not seem tired or scared. "They are not just fighting for survival," he muttered. "They want to destroy us." He called a meeting with his top officers. "We must find a way to stop them," he said. "If we lose to these monsters, the entire armada will fall." One of his best generals stepped forward. "Sir, we could use the new weapon project Oblivion. It is a massive energy cannon. If we fire it at the humans, it will destroy their ships in seconds." Zarkin nodded slowly. "Do it. We cannot lose." Meanwhile, Captain Sarah and her crew knew the danger was coming. Their sensors picked up the charging energy cannon. "Brace for impact," Sarah ordered. The crew held tight as the cannon fired a huge beam towards the human ship's dot. The beam hit the asteroid field where the humans hid. Explosions shook the Sentinel, and some nearby ships were destroyed. But Sarah's ship survived, shield barely holding. "We can't let them hit us again," Sarah said, voice steady. "Prepare for counterattack." Using their damaged ship's remaining power, the humans launched a surprise attack on the Vortex Fury itself. Sarah took a small squadron and flew straight toward the alien flagship, dodging beams and missiles. The alien crew was shocked. "They're attacking our command ship." One shouted, "Stop them!" But the humans had a plan. They fired special missiles that could bypass the alien shields. The Vortex Fury shook as explosions tore into its hull. Commander Zarkin felt a cold sweat. The humans had found his weakness. On the bridge of the Sentinel, Sarah's voice was calm, but firm. Focus fire on their engines. We need to slow them down. The humans hit the engines hard. The Vortex Fury slowed and lost maneuverability. Zarkin ordered emergency repairs, but the damage was deep. The battle raged on. Explosions lit the stars like fireworks, and the cries of dying ships echoed through space. The alien fleet was in chaos. Their formations broke apart, and their commanders shouted orders that were ignored by terrified crews. The humans, however, moved like a single beast, fierce, fast, and unstoppable. In the middle of the chaos, Commander Zarkin looked out at the stars and whispered, "What are these humans? They are not soldiers. They are monsters." The battle above Earth's orbit was fierce and unrelenting. The alien armada, once proud and confident, now faced a new reality. Humans were not just fighting with courage. They were using technology and fury combined in a way that no alien had ever seen before. Commander Zarkin sat stiffly on the bridge of his flagship, Vortex Fury, his eyes burning with anger and disbelief. His massive ship had taken heavy damage from the last attack, and yet the humans continued to fight. His officers busied themselves with damage control, but the fear in their voices betrayed their doubts. "Captain," Zarkin said sharply to one of his lieutenants, "how can these humans have such weapons? Their ships are smaller, yet their firepower is immense." The lieutenant bowed slightly. "Sir, we have intercepted some of their technology transmissions. It appears they have combined old weapons with new designs. Their engineers are clever, and their fighters fearless." Zarkin clenched his fists. "We must find a way to break them. This war is not going as planned." Far away, aboard the human ship Sentinel, Captain Sarah Blake and her crew worked tirelessly. Their ship was battered, but their spirit was stronger than ever. "Report status," Sarah asked her chief engineer. "Shields at 70%. Weapons fully operational, but hull integrity dropping." The engineer replied. "Prepare the new weapon system," Sarah ordered. "We can't lose momentum now." The humans had a secret weapon, a high-energy plasma cannon capable of piercing the strongest alien shields. It was risky to use, but the crew knew that if they did not strike now, the alien armada might recover. The Sentinel slipped through space like a shadow, moving closer to the alien flagship. The alien ships tried to detect it, but the humans had learned to use stealth technology developed from decades of research. Suddenly, the plasma cannon charged. A bright blue light gathered at the front of the Sentinel, glowing with immense power, firing in 3.2. 1, Sarah counted down. The beam shot out like a comet, striking the Vortex Fury directly. The alien ship shook violently as its shields flickered and broke under the attack. Alarm sirens blared on the alien ship. Crew members ran to control stations, trying to stop the damage. Zarkin gritted his teeth. "Divert all power to shields. Target the source of that blast." Alien fighter squadrons scrambled to defend their flagship, but the Sentinel moved fast and struck again. This time, it targeted the alien weapon systems, crippling their ability to fire back. The alien fleet faltered. Ships that were once ready to crush Earth now struggled to keep up. Back on Earth, the world watched in awe and hope. News channels broadcast live images of the space battle. People cheered as human ships tore through the alien fleet like lightning. "Look at them fight," a young boy exclaimed, eyes wide with wonder. "They're like heroes." But the fight was far from over. On the Vortex Fury, Commander Zarkin's voice was cold but filled with determination. "We cannot let them win. Launch the drones. Send in the shock troops." Alien drones swarmed like locusts, flying toward the humans. They fired deadly beams and launched missiles. The Sentinel's crew worked quickly, dodging and weaving through the swarm. Their ships I helped guide the pilots, calculating perfect maneuvers. Fire the EMP. Sarah commanded. A pulse of electromagnetic energy burst from the Sentinel, disabling many alien drones instantly. The aliens growled in frustration. Their attacks failed again and again. Then, the alien shock troops arrived, elite fighters in powerful armor, boarding the human ships during battle. Sarah watched the monitors nervously. Prepare for boarding. Defend every inch. The human crew fought fiercely, hand to hand, weapon to weapon. Their training and willpower gave them the edge. One human soldier, Marcus, grabbed an alien by the throat and growled, "You'll never break us." The battle inside the ships was brutal and close. But humans were determined. They knew their home was at stake. Outside, more human ships arrived as reinforcements. Their numbers grew, their confidence soaring. Commander Zarkin's mind raced. They adapt too fast. Their technology, their fighting spirit, it is beyond anything we expected. He ordered his war council to consider retreat. But it was too late. The humans had taken the upper hand. In the thick of battle, Sarah's ship approached the alien command center. The final strike was near. "Ready the plasma cannon," she said quietly, "for Earth." With a flash of light and a burst of power, the Sentinel fired once more. The alien flagship shook violently, systems failing one after another. Commander Zarkin looked out the window, eyes wide with horror. This is not a fight, this is an extinction. The battle raged on, but the tide had turned. Humans had shown their true power, a deadly mix of technology and fury. The galaxy would never forget this day. The dark vastness of space was filled with the sounds of battle. The alien fleet had lost many ships, and their pride was shattered. Commander Zarkin stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Vortex Fury, his face pale and eyes sharp with worry. He looked out at the burning stars, so many ships destroyed by the humans. His voice was cold, but filled with anger. "They fight like monsters. We must stop them at all costs." His officers nodded, but the fear was clear in their eyes. The humans were different from anything the aliens had faced before. They did not just fight to win, they fought with wild courage, with no fear of death. In a hidden command room, the alien scientists worked fast. They were desperate to find a way to defeat the humans. "We have to use everything," one scientist said. "New weapons, new strategies." "Commander." Zarkin ordered a secret weapon to be prepared, a massive pulse bomb designed to wipe out all ships in a wide area. "If we cannot win by skill, we will win by destruction," he said grimly. Far away, Captain Sarah Blake on the human ship Sentinel watched the enemy's movements closely. "They are getting desperate," she said to her crew. "We must be ready for anything." The humans knew the battle would get worse before it got better. They were ready. The alien fleet began using brutal new tactics. They attacked civilian ships, ignoring the old rules of war. The humans were shocked but did not slow down. They fought harder. Suddenly, a huge pulse wave exploded near the Sentinel. The ship shook violently. Lights flickered and alarms screamed. "We are hit," the chief engineer shouted. "Shields down to 30%. Sarah took a deep breath. "Hold steady. Focus on repairs and keep fighting." The humans worked fast. They repaired the shields while firing back at the aliens. On the battlefield, a small group of human fighters led by a fearless pilot named Jake raced towards an alien supply ship. Their mission was dangerous but crucial. If they destroyed the supplies, the aliens would lose their advantage. Jake's ship zipped through enemy fire, dodging lasers and missiles. "We're almost there," he said, voice steady. Suddenly, an alien fighter appeared in front of him, blocking his path. "Enemy ahead," Jake warned. The two ships spun around each other, firing with deadly accuracy. Jake's heart pounded. But he stayed calm. With a sudden move, Jake launched a missile that hit the alien ship's engine. The enemy ship exploded in flames. "Target destroyed," Jake shouted. "Supplies won't reach them today." Back on the Sentinel, Sarah watched. The battle unfolded. Good work, Jake. Keep pushing. We cannot let them recover. The alien commander grew more restless. His ships were falling faster than he could repair them. His fleet was breaking. Prepare the shock troops, Zarkin ordered. Board their ships and take them from inside. The shock troops were brutal armored warriors trained for close combat. They boarded human ships, fighting with vicious strength. Inside the Sentinel, the crew fought desperately. The corridors echoed with the sounds of gunfire and screams. Marcus, a human soldier, gripped his weapon tightly. "They won't take this ship," he growled. "Not while I'm alive." The battle was fierce, but the humans had something the aliens didn't: hope and unity. Every soldier fought not just for survival, but for their home and loved ones. Meanwhile, the aliens unleashed their pulse bomb. A huge shockwave swept through the battlefield. Ships were destroyed instantly. Space lit with deadly energy. The Sentinel shook but held on. Sarah ordered her crew to prepare for the final push. "Now is our chance," she said. "We fight for Earth and for our future." The human fleet moved forward with renewed strength. They attacked the alien command center with everything they had. The vortex fury trembled as explosions rocked its hull. Commander Zarkin realized his time was running out. He shouted orders for retreat, but his crew was already breaking. Fear and chaos spread like wildfire. In a final desperate move, Zarkin sent a message to the human fleet. "Surrender now, or be destroyed." Sarah read the message aloud. "They want us to surrender. Tell them this. Humans don't surrender. We fight until the end." The battle continued, but the aliens were losing. Commander Zarkin stood alone, watching his fleet fall apart. He whispered to himself, "These humans, they are not just soldiers. They are monsters who will never give up." The war was far from over, but the humans had shown that no matter how dark the fight, their spirit would never die. The battle had raged for hours. The stars, once silent witnesses to the peaceful night, now glowed with explosions and fire. The alien fleet was losing ships faster than they could replace them. Commander Zarkin paced the bridge of the vortex. Fury, his face a mask of anger and disbelief. He looked out through the wide viewport at the burning remains of his forces. Ships that once filled the sky were now drifting, dead in the void. The humans were relentless. They did not fear death. They fought with an intensity and will that no alien had ever faced. Zarkin's voice was low but sharp. "This war is not going as planned. The humans, they're something else. Not soldiers. Monsters." His officers nodded, fear hidden behind forced loyalty. Meanwhile, aboard the human flagship Sentinel, Captain Sarah Blake was rallying her crew. The ship was battered and scarred, but the spirit inside was unbroken. "We have come too far to lose now," Sarah said firmly. "Our people are counting on us. This is our home. We fight for Earth." Her words spread like wildfire. Every crew member felt the weight of their mission. They were not just fighting aliens. They were fighting for the future of their species. The human fleet moved with precision and fury. Each ship had a role. Each pilot knew their target. The humans attacked with new tactics, a combination of speed, surprise, and power. One of the human pilots, Lieutenant Maya, led a squadron through a narrow asteroid belt. The aliens had placed mines and traps there, hoping to stop the humans. But Maya's team moved with skill and courage. "Watch your backs," Maya warned. "We have to get through." Lasers flashed and explosions rocked the asteroids as the squadron dodged and weaved through the dangerous field. One ship was hit, but the others pushed forward. They emerged from the asteroid field and attacked an alien repair station. Explosions tore through the facility, crippling the aliens' ability to fix their ships. Back on the Vortex Fury, Commander Zarkin watched the chaos with growing dread. "They are breaking us. We need a miracle." He turned to his chief strategist. "What can we do?" The strategist's face was grim. "We have one last plan, a coordinated strike at their command center on Earth. If we destroy their leaders and communications, they may surrender." Zarkin nodded. "Prepare the fleet. This is our final chance." Meanwhile, on Earth, military leaders and scientists worked feverishly. They knew the alien fleet was desperate. The planet's defenses were ready for the final assault. Sarah received word of the alien plan. "They want to hit our command center," she told her crew. "We can't let that happen." The humans prepared for the biggest battle yet. The alien fleet surged forward, launching their final attack. Massive warships fired beams that lit up the sky. Missile barrages rained down on Earth's surface, but the humans fought back with everything they had. Fighter jets soared, missiles launched, and ground defenses fired in space. The human fleet met the alien ships in a furious clash. The Sentinel led the charge, breaking through enemy lines to protect Earth's command center. Sarah's voice was steady over the comms. "Hold your ground. We are not losing today." The battle was brutal. Ships collided, weapons fired, and men and women fought with desperation. Lieutenant Maya's squadron faced the alien shock troops again. This time, the fight was closer, fiercer. "We don't back down," Maya shouted. For Earth. Her team fought like legends, taking down enemy after enemy. On the Vortex Fury, Commander Zarkin's face was pale. His flagship was heavily damaged, his fleet in ruins. He realized the war was lost. "Prepare to retreat," he ordered. "We will live to fight another day." But the humans would not let them go easily. The Sentinel fired its plasma cannon one last time, striking the alien flagship hard. Zarkin stumbled, looking at the destruction around him. Sarah's voice came over the comms, calm and strong. "This is Earth. We are the monsters you feared. Remember this day." The alien fleet began to withdraw, defeated but alive. The humans had become legends. They had fought not just with weapons, but with courage, heart, and a will that could not be broken. And though the war was not over, Earth stood strong. The galaxy would remember this battle, the day the humans showed what they truly were. The battlefield in space stretched like an endless ocean of stars and fire. The alien fleet, once the mighty conquerors of countless worlds, now staggered under the relentless assault of Earth's defenders. Their ships burned and fell like shooting stars, leaving trails of smoke and silence behind. Commander Zarkin stood on the bridge of his crippled flagship, Vortex Fury, his face drawn tight with exhaustion and fear. He had witnessed horrors he never imagined. The humans were not just warriors, they were something else. Something terrifying. "Sir," his lieutenant said nervously, "our ships are nearly destroyed. We have lost most of our fighters and cruisers." Zarkin clenched his fists. "Retreat is our only option. But before we go, we must finish this war." He turned to the communications officer. "Send a message to Earth. Tell them to surrender or be destroyed." Far below, on Earth, Captain Sarah Blake listened to the alien message. Her expression was calm but fierce. "Tell them this. Humans don't surrender. We fight until the end." The humans were ready for the final battle. The human fleet gathered near Earth's orbit, their ships scarred, but their spirits unbroken. Reinforcements arrived from every corner of the planet. Pilots, engineers, and soldiers, all united in one cause. Sarah stood on the bridge of the Sentinel, looking at the stars. "This is it, the last stand." The aliens launched their biggest assault yet. Massive warships fired beams that lit the sky. Missiles rained down on the human fleet. The humans fought back with unmatched fury. Fighter jets zipped through the chaos, dodging lasers and missiles. Ground defenses fired their last rounds to protect the orbiting ships. The battle was brutal, fierce, and unrelenting. Lieutenant Maya led her squadron in a desperate fight against the alien shock troops boarding human ships. "Hold the line," she shouted. "We're the monsters they fear." On board the Sentinel, Marcus fought off alien invaders in close combat. "You'll never take this ship," he growled, swinging his weapon. The humans fought not just with weapons, but with heart and soul. As the battle raged, Sarah saw an opening. The alien flagship was vulnerable. "Fire the plasma cannon," she ordered. The cannon charged and released a blinding beam of energy. It struck the vortex fury with crushing force. The flagship shook, systems failing. Commander Zarkin staggered, his world collapsing around him. "Impossible," he whispered. The alien fleet began to retreat, broken and defeated. But the humans did not stop. They pressed their advantage, chasing the fleeing ships. The galaxy had seen the true face of humanity, monsters of war. Driven by an unbreakable will, Sarah's voice echoed through the ship. "This is only the beginning. We protect Earth. We protect the future." As the last alien ships fled into the dark void, Earth's defenders cheered. The war was won, but the cost was heavy. The stars were quiet once more, but the universe had changed forever. Humans had revealed their true power: fierce, unstoppable, and unyielding. Commander Zarkin's final words hung in the void, a warning to all who would challenge humanity. "Humans, they are monsters.